think this is one of the ugliest Cadillacs I've ever seen.
No. Whoa.
Oh, Mother Nature definitely hadn't been good to this one. We're going to pull out the engine, suspension, everything. We might need to make it rear-wheel drive.
I bought me this new 2021 Chevy Kodiak 4500.
Man, first thing we got to do, remove all the old suspension.
We'll make a 4-link setup for it.
Man, I just want to have a good ride, man.
Oh my God, look at this! This is crazy!
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Here at the Houston Garden Center today, the owner, Kim, gave me a call, said she's got a project for me to check out. You know, if this is the one she wants built, we got a lot of work to do.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Kim.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
There she is. 1974 Cadillac Eldorado convertible.
A 74 Cadillac, that's your dream car.
I wouldn't say it was my dream car, but for an antique car, it was where I wanted to start because it was the year I was born, and my parents drove Cadillacs, and so that's the car that I wanted when I thought about getting an antique car. When I was growing up, Cadillacs were the best car that you could have, and I can't help but to think about my old neighbor when we carpooled, and I would slide across the back of the seat as she would turn corners because I think there was like 5 of us in the back seat. These cars have always been in my life, and I've always really wanted one.
So what are you seeing in this?
I want to totally transform this car.
Total overhaul.
Total overhaul. I want it to be a head turner.
Kim, this is, you know, I'm very good at what I do, but don't get mad at me. I think this is one of the ugliest Cadillacs I've ever seen, so.
No, I've seen your show. Sorry.
You know, a 1974 Cadillac, it isn't cool. But with all the real estate we have to work with, we're going to make it cool. Nice new paint, and we got to have some big wheels and tires, some 24s on it.
Wow.
And, of course, you got a Cadillac. We want it to ride good, so we got to put air suspension on it and make it real low.
Okay, I got it.
What do you got under the hood?
Stock engine.
Let's check it out. It does open, right?
It's heavy, Bill. Whoa.
Man, it's a huge engine, but not a lot of go.
No.
So I think, you know, a late model LS, 500 plus horsepower under here, but, you know, this being a front wheel drive, we might need to make it rear wheel drive.
I know you can do that.
Let's check out the interior. Is that real wood?
Yeah, I think that might be plastic, though.
And I'm surprised the interior looks fairly good, but it's red and really old. So we're gonna just rip everything out, just start fresh. I want you to be able to get in, sit down, and just feel cool in here.
I want that kind of car.
Yes. Let's check out what's in the trunk. Way better than the hood. We definitely have a lot of room to not only have nice sound project towards the front, but
Gotcha, it's a Cadillac.
right. You know, we'll come up with something really nice, you know, to bring the interior color and everything all the way into the trunk, and it looks stylish. So no matter where you go, you can pop the trunk too and kind of show off a little bit. What are you thinking on color? You got a favorite color?
I'm leaning towards like a metallic root beer brown. It's one of my favorites. I love the gold flakes and the way that the sun hits it. I think it's a way to keep the car true to the era also.
My mom used to have an old root beer brown Monte Carlo. So
Yeah.
I think that'd fit really good with that car.
That's kind of the way I'm looking.
Yeah.
And then as far as the interior goes, there's only one thing.
What's that?
Somewhere in that interior, I'd like a little red and yellow umbrella
A red and yellow umbrella?
for our logo. Somewhere on the interior in there.
You got it. We'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
We're gonna get back to the shop and get after it. walking up to this car, you see the rust. And a lot of people are deceived when they see, a little rust on the hood, a little rust here, think that's it. But looks are definitely deceiving on a project like this. Oh, Mother Nature definitely hadn't been good to this one. Doors shut good, the glass is perfect, the rubber's all new. You get a project in like this, you're starting from the very, very bottom. You have to repair every bit of that before you even get started customizing. A lot of the times, the vehicle we start with isn't worth hardly anything, but that's not what it's about. It's about that connection with your car. That's what drives the whole project. That's what drives the whole customizing industry, is the personalization that you want to put on your emotional attachment. To somebody like Kim, she's willing to go the extra step. Not only bring it back to life, to make it extra cool. A lot of work, but we're definitely up for it. We're going to build Kim a really, really, really cool 1974 Cadillac.
I don't think that's on right.
Think it's what they're talking about on the rap song? Sitting sideways?
I'm thinking it's probably the whole car. It's supposed to be sideways.
Not just the hood?
Not just the hood.
All right. Well, little backstory on this. This is Kim Hooper. She owns a Houston Garden Center here in town. This is a 1974 Cadillac. She says she's born 1974, so she wanted something. What she picked.
Why Eldorado, though?
Right? I could probably think of a couple of cooler Cadillacs to pick, but this is what we got to work with.
This is the one she picked.
There is quite a few drawbacks to this car. It's not the most stylish of all the Cadillacs for sure. Another drawback, of course, is all the rust.
Oh, the body shop's gonna love you for this one.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's job security for them for sure, right?
Yeah.
Let's check out underneath the hood. Show you what we're working with.
Oh, man.
This front-wheel drive configuration,
Gotta go.
gotta go.
Ain't cool.
Gotta go. Rip everything out, and we'll convert it to rear-wheel drive. New LS. That way she can push the gas pedal. Do some big old gnarly burnouts.
From the back.
Yes.
Man, I really like this idea. This is gonna be cool. It'll be like one of the only ones that'll be converted to rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, with our framework, our control arms, big brakes, and a nice looking wheel and tire. We're gonna put some 24s on it.
Yeah.
As far as interior,
Oh, that's not too horrible.
but
Can't have that.
no. Rip out the seats, carpet, put a new roof on it, new dash. Only thing she asks, she wants to incorporate her company logo in it somewhere. Check the trunk out.
You already know what's in here, don't you?
Nobody's
Kind of nervous about what's in the... Oh,
It ain't too bad. The lot color, the style, and everything way back into the trunk to, just finish everything off. We don't want to leave it looking like this back here.
no.
Of course, to make a cool car like this, we can't just paint it and put interior in it. That's a restoration.
Right.
We don't do restorations.
No.
So, strip this whole car, get the metal work right, get the body work right, and then she requested to have a root beer brown with a lot of flake in it.
It's right up your alley.
It's gonna be cool.
Right on.
I've been looking for a sugar mama for quite a while, but I don't want to end up in that trunk.
When I hit the back quarters on this car, rust falls everywhere, and that's definitely not a good thing. First things first, we're gonna pull out the engine, suspension, interior, let's just say everything.
To the other side.
And then we're gonna send it off to blast. We'll see how big a job this really is.
I just hope the seats work. This car has power seats, and in order to get them out, we have to be able to move it back and forth to get to all the bolts. So I'm gonna power this up, and hopefully we don't catch a car on fire. These seats being powered, right now they're all the way back and down against the floor, so I can't get to the suck. Basically, we just took a 5-minute job and turned it into a 4-hour job. Ouch! Get apart! Get out of there. The other side was not this hard. Bless it. Come on, come apart. I hate you. Get out of there. That was the electric motor. Now, all I gotta do is take a screwdriver and manually turn the gears, roll this thing forward, and we'll be able to get to the bolts. The front seats are out, so next we get the rear seat out, rear quarter panels out, we'll let them finish getting the car taken apart, and we'll get the roof off of it.
All right, you got it? Come on. So now that John got rid of the whole interior, we got rid of the exterior, now it's time to separate the body from the frame. What we're doing now is gonna send it to sandblast. Hopefully, it comes in good condition.
Blast, and it's just as bad as I thought. The guys over in the body shop, they got a lot of work ahead of them.
So we just got our Cadillac back from Media Blast. So basically right now we're just making sure we get all our metal straight and take care of all the holes that we have on it and start our body work on it. We have some rust right here that we have to take care of. We got to cut this piece out. They're going to build a new piece of metal and weld it on there. Trying to hammer and dolly all the bottom of this piece right here so I can give it a curve. So now that I'm close to the shape that I want, now I can curve it a little. Making a flat piece into a curved piece takes a lot of time. You're trying to save as much body work as you can. You don't want to, put a piece on there and put a lot of filler on it. Take it to the table, hold my line a little more. Punch some holes on the bottom of it so I can spot weld into the car. That'll keep the bottom of it together. Grind it and get ready for body work.
Got a 74 Cadillac, which is front wheel drive, which is totally not what we want in this situation. We're gonna add a lot of power, make it really low, and put some cool wheels on it. You can't do any of those with this front wheel drive configuration. We're gonna reconfigure everything, make it a rear wheel drive, so it's gonna hold a nice new LT engine, transmission, drive shaft, rear end. Everything is gonna go through the car now. In order to do all that, we're gonna make a brand new subframe. Anytime you're building something literally in the air, every little measurement is so critical just to make sure everything's 100% true and straight and level. Once you establish all that, you can start going. You can start building, start creating. So that's the point we're at now. Everything's a level, everything's true. Now we're going to start building.
All right, so cross member basically is going to tie in our frame to our core support, and also it's going to hold up our suspension. Basically, I need to take this 2x5 and tie it into this 2x3. I'm gonna cut with my cutoff wheel all the way down. So you can see when I cut these, I kind of got this arch to them. Just using this clamp right now to make sure they're perfectly even. The closer I get to the end, it's gonna be really hard to push down. Go ahead and start welding them out now. Then we'll be putting them on the Cadillac.
So we're in a really good spot right now. We got our cross member all set in place and connected to the main frame rails. Only thing left is connecting front of the cross member to the core support.
It's pretty nice. You can see I took the 5-inch and tapered it down to 3.
In our battle of the bays, every once in a while, a bay is set empty for a few days. My job as a business owner, keep those bays busy. Even if that means putting in a quicker build with an urgent need, like this 2020 Kodiak that an old friend of mine just dropped off at the shop. What's happening, man?
What's up, Bill? What's going on, man? Y'all busy or what?
Where you been, man? I ain't seen you at the shows lately.
Man, you know how it is, man. They keep us busy here at work, man. But I got a little something coming up. I bought me this new 2021 Chevy Kodiak 4500.
Man, those are nice trucks, man. Real nice.
I want to see if you can do some little work for me on the back. The ride's a little rough, man.
I know it. These trucks come with a big old diesel Duramax V8 with 700 foot-pounds of torque. We've done a lot of 4,500 trucks over the years, you know, and they're not exactly designed for a smooth ride.
What do you think, man? Can you hook me up? Put me a little 4-link, put something back there for me?
You're talking about just the back, right? So
yeah, just the back, man. Just the back.
Hangers, 4-link, you know, rear suspension with bags on it.
That's it, man. I just want to take it to a show it off, man, and have a good ride, man. So I know you can do it.
Absolutely. And still be able to haul a trailer and
yes,
what the truck's meant for.
Yes, sir.
You know we got to build some running boards for that also.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll do that. We'll throw it in there, too, man.
You know what? You might have called me at the perfect time. Out in the shop, we're moving a bunch of stuff around. We're finishing a few things. This one time, I'm going to skip you online and we're going to put you down and get you done, man.
Appreciate it.
You know, something like that, we can get in and out fairly quick.
I know you're going to do some bad work, bro.
We got you, man. We got you.
All right, bud. Thanks.
All right, man. I'll talk to you real soon.
What's up, Timmy? What we got here?
Man, Lulu, you know as well as I know, these things with these big spring packs, they ride horrible unless you have a big load on them. Tried to drive for a couple weeks, ended up beating to death. So pull the wheels off, take the hanger off, take the leaf springs out of it, put a small notch in it. We'll make a 4-link setup for it, upper bag mount. You can tell now that we have taken off the wheels, you got these springs in the back that are heavy duty. We're gonna eliminate that and start all over and give them a better ride. All right, those are heavy as hell. You got it? Watch out, watch out. I wanna go ahead and tack my C-notch in, find the center of where the rear end's gonna go.
The reason we're taking this section out, when this truck airs all the way out, we want it to sit that much more lower. Beautiful. And all we gotta do now is box that in on the bottom. We're gonna bend some flat bar. This is gonna go right underneath the bottom of that frame. We'll get this fitted in, it's welded out. Time to move on to making the 4-link tabs. Get them placed here on the axle, and then we can make the bars that connect from those to the hanger right off the frame. So what we got here is our bracket that gets welded to the rear axle. Being as we do so many Kodiaks, we already have this design saved on the computer. So every time we get a truck in, all we gotta do is hit go, and we'll burn these brackets out. They're ready to get put on the axle. Now we got those tagged in place. All we gotta do now is we'll get this bolted up there and mark where we gotta cut. Get that there. And we'll have as a 4-link bar completed. Now we got a top bar on, bottom bar on, connected from the axle to the frame. And what this is gonna let the axle do is move up and down as you're driving down the road and let it come into this notch to give it a smooth ride.
The 4-link added a panhard bar to the 2021 4500. Because this truck's a lot lower with the notch in the frame, the axle is going to travel a lot higher. So we need to raise up the factory hitch that came with the truck.
Definitely need to put a spacer or...
Yeah, it had to be a 3-inch. Being we C-notched the truck so it could sit lower, we had to raise the gooseneck hitch up to give us clearance between the differential and the bottom of the ball. So all we did was make a little spacer to raise it up evenly on both sides, and we'll be able to weld this out on the sides, make it nice and strong.
John told me to make a template to cover up this and make it look a lot nicer here. So now I gotta go trace it on some metal, get it cut out, and bring it back over for John to fully weld it. There you go, buddy.
Chop, chop. Now that we got this end cut and capped off, it looks 100 times better than it did before. Not only does it look good, it's also stronger. So let's get on to the other side and get this thing done.
All right, so we got the door panels for the 74 Caddy. Pretty much just rotted, terrible. Besides that, doesn't have our flare.
While we're turning the 74 Cadillac to a rear-wheel drive on one side of the shop, over in the interior, John's shaping fiberglass inserts for what will be custom door panels.
So close. my plan, we're gonna make a fiberglass mold of the insert that goes on the door. I'm gonna take some acrylic, heat it up, and bend it around the base. And once we got that done, we'll backlight it and have something really cool on this kind of stockish door panel. All right, let's take a little bit of body work. We'll have this thing smoothed out. Got everything shaped out, body worked out. Next step is just start laying out some lines on here, draw some stuff, and come up with a shape for the insert. So what I'll do is I'll just take this transfer tape, I'll draw out my pattern, lay it on a piece of chipboard, get it cut out, transfer it into some 1/4" MDF. We'll double stick this down to a piece of acrylic. All right, off we go. Get the router table, get it cut out, and get to bending. So this acrylic is nothing more than plastic. So when you put heat to it, it starts bending, gets all soft and floppy and pliable. Take some weight. With that weight there, it'll start to sag on its own. And as it starts to do that, then we'll go in with clamping it into place. All right, it's nice and cool. Let's go ahead and break it down and move on to the next step. I'm gonna create a pocket on this panel. It's fun coming up with little things like this that you can add in and just kind of update what's in the car. Still using the same lines and the same idea and the principles of the car itself. Perfect, which is one of the reasons they like the car. Give their own little pizzazz. Let's get to it. In order to wrap this panel, we've got to embed this LED in it. We're going to take this LED and...
Yeah, we're down.
The way when we laminate it with our wood veneer, we'll see this edge glow.
So you're putting down a wood veneer and it's going to look like the wood is emitting light.
Yes.
Okay, that's badass.
I like it. I can wrap that panel now.
Alrighty. We got the front half of the frame done on the 74 Eldorado. Now it's time for the back half of the frame. If we're going to make it rear-wheel drive, we might as well make it rear-wheel drive. So we're going to use a 20x12. When this thing's going down the road, it's just going to look like it's got some big old meats up underneath of it. In order to do that, we're going to cut out the back half of the frame and build a subframe that's a little narrower. That's going to give us room for those big, wide 12-inch wheels. All right, I'm going to go transfer this to the table. And we'll start making a frame. Next thing is cutting some metal, actually placing on the table, getting it tacked together.
Man, you done had to work for me already.
Yeah, made it easy for you.
Appreciate that. All right, so I got my 2x3 3/16 loaded up on the saw for the angles. So if I just go from 1 to 2 to 3, all these angles are going to match up perfectly. This was my last cut. This is going to be the end of my frame. Next thing is go ahead and lay it on the table. Let's go ahead and start welding everything out. So when I look at other cars, the first thing I'm looking at obviously is the welds. You know, I mean, I ride motorcycles. That's just a few welds on the stem that holds the front tire on. So, you know, welds naturally are a concern for me. Any kind of weak spot in something like this could tear or break. So it's a lot of responsibility you have when you're building cars like this for people. Not only, you know, to make everything look perfect and straight, and safety is my #1 concern. Here we go. All the welds are nice and solid. Got a good start to the back half of the frame. So putting the new frame in, we're going to go ahead and cut the existing rest of the original frame off the back half. So much room for new frames.
I'm going to help you real quick, get it all stood up, square up, and we're putting two little temporary pieces, boom, boom. 2x3 back here on the back cap. 2x3 right here for the front of the fuel cell in the front of the frame.
Now we got our braces on, a little bit of weld on here so all of our tacks aren't breaking while we're moving around the car. I'll go get Bill, throw the sucker up there, and tie the rest of the frame in.
Well, the subframe looks good, fits good, nice and narrow now. We got plenty of room for the big wheels. Now we just need to connect it to the last little part of the factory frame, and it's almost rear-wheel drive. chassis on the 74 Eldorado is done. It's time to make this rear-wheel drive. You know, this car was originally front-wheel drive, so there's no room for a transmission or drive shaft tunnel or anything connecting the front drivetrain to the back. So what we have to do is build a transmission tunnel. First step is cutting the floor out, the firewall out, all for the transmission and the drive shaft. Putting the transmission engine down in place, going from there.
How much farther back can I go?
About 2.
We got the firewall cut out. Not something you expect every day to see a 74 Caddy rear-wheel drive.
Now we got a bigger transmission in here. Had to make a bigger trans tunnel. The trick to this now is, you see all my negative spaces, I'm gonna have to add metal there, tied into the tunnel to anchor it down. Once it's done with that, I'll trim everything out. It's gonna look slick. Okay, so I'm utilizing the metal I had in here before. There's nothing wrong with it, it's good. It's not like this rotten stuff. Just a little bend in the floor. You can see how it comes up right here. Just want to make it nice and even so your foot feels exactly the same on the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this gap in right here. This right here is something you don't see or people don't think about. Normally you just think about the wheels, the paint, the interior, but nobody really pays attention to the small stuff like this. It might take me, 30 minutes to make one cut to get all this tied in like you see right now. But it's really crucial. It's kind of like the thankless part of putting a car together. All these little pieces like this, you don't see on the end.
It only took us a few days to knock out the air suspension on the 2021 4500, but it'll be a night and day difference. When Sammy's out driving, the ride's gonna be way more comfortable than stock. Not to mention the stance is gonna be that much better as well.
Now we got all the suspension busted all apart. Get Lulu to get it painted. We can get this thing put back together. Take it for a ride down the road.
There's always a juggle in any business, especially a custom car shop. When you have the big, long, drawn-out builds and you have the quick day-to-day jobs, it's always a juggle to make all that work. So when Sammy called, he needed a quick job done. It just worked out perfectly where we could get it in, get it knocked out, and get him on the road. Sammy, what's up, man?
What's up, Bill? How you been, bro?
All right, man.
Good.
All right. I know you're waiting on your truck to get out of town, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, you've been a friend of mine for a while, and we had to get you hooked up, man.
Appreciate it, man. I know it's last minute thing.
Yeah.
But we got a show, and I know you're the right guy for it. I've been knowing Bill for at least over 10 years now. We've been in the same trucks he built and his guys.
It's ready for you. It's ready. It's going to ride good, handle good, and pull whatever you want to also.
That's what it's for, right?
That's it, man. Let's check it out.
Oh, man. That's killer right there, man. I like that. Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
it, man.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Gets down, too.
That's it right there. That did it.
Yeah.
That did it.
What's up, Sammy?
What's up, Tim?
How you doing?
All right.
What you think, Sammy?
Oh, man, I love it, man.
The first thing we had to do, get it in, remove all the old suspension.
Okay.
Those big, heavy springs that were in it. We had to notch the frame.
Okay.
That's to get it down a little lower. We built big hangers in the front and a huge heavy-duty four-link with some big bags on it, too.
I like that.
Whatever you want to put on this truck, those big bags will handle it for sure.
Whatever, whenever, huh?
That's it, man. The gooseneck hitch that you already had, we just relocated it a little higher so the truck could go down a little lower. We mounted the valves up underneath the cab, mounted 2 compressors, tank, and everything is accessible for you later if you ever need to work on it for sure.
Good deal, man.
Of course, running boards. I know eventually you're gonna, finish it off yourself with the bed, and so we went ahead and built the running boards for you. So it's really gonna help you out a lot, man, to be able to raise and lower when you're hooking up to your trailer and to have a nice, smooth ride. So we do what we gotta do. Man, you ready to roll?
I'm ready. Hey, big thank you for the guys here at Extensive. I know it was the last last minute thing, but I'm glad that they pulled it off. They did a great job, and I'm ready to go show it at the shows.
Hey, one more thing. What you got? Got to put that sticker on the back now.
Yeah.
Then you're ready to roll to the show. All right, man.
All right, we're ready.
Now you're ready to roll.
Now we're ready.
And the bodywork are all done on the 74 Eldorado. So we're going to send the frame to powder coat. And now I can pick the paint color. So I just got a sample piece from the powder coater for a 74 Cadillac. So it's got some texture in it. A brown color and black all mixed together. You know, it hides a lot of imperfections that are in the factory frame, and it just ties everything together. So I have a sample of the powder, and then I'm going to pick a color that matches the powder coat. A root beer brown with a heavy flake. So kind of just going through the browns that we have. And I think on this, it's an easy choice. With this brown has not only heavy flake, but a pearl also. I think that's a color, man. Sunset bronze metallic. Man, when the sun hit it, it's gonna go crazy. So it's definitely gonna be the shine she's looking for. You know, as I've said, I've never been a fan of the 74 Cadillac Eldorado, but with everything we're doing to this, it's starting to look like a very different vehicle. The paint alone is really going to make a statement.
So this paint is pretty expensive because all the pearl and crystals they have in it. This gallon, just the base, is going to be about close to $2,000. So we don't want to mess this up because it ain't going to be cheap. I think just this bottle right here is about like $200. So gold pearl we gotta put on there. So this is flattening agent. You don't want your base coat, you know, shiny, and your clear is gonna make it shine. Alright, so this is it. We got all our colors in there. Now we're gonna take it to the paint shaker, shake it for about 5 minutes, and we have our color good in that big old Cadillac. I think everybody likes the metallic on those big cars, especially with Cadillac. Having a Cadillac is like a symbol of luxury, I guess. You know, you want to get some attention on that big car.
The owner, Kim, wants to incorporate her company logos into the interior, but she left it to us to figure out how and where to put it.
In order to take their company logo that's just 2D flat artwork and make it into something that's 3D, we have to start laying out some lines that make a grid pattern, and we'll do this over and over until we have something that looks like we want. We're just kind of blocking it in right now to build it in 3D. It'll look really cool when it's done.
Hey, sister.
Hey, what's up?
Stumbled across these delightful, wonderful pieces of 1974 modern art.
I saw these on the doors.
Yes. I want to unsee them on the doors.
This was a factory piece?
Yes.
All right, I'll draw something up though. I was looking at their logo on the internet, and I was seeing this house over the umbrella, and then they have the red and yellow canopy that's very distinct. So we can take some of these other features and add them to the umbrella so that we can kind of fill up the square space. I'm all set. I got the job right here. I'm gonna walk this over to our 3D printer. The machine's gonna come up to temperature and do its little ones and zeros. Then each of those layers are gonna be drawn here and go up and drawn more and up and drawn more until the design is done. All right, it looks like our 3D printing is done. These are our door medallions. I like that a lot. Our spiffy new squares. I think this is gonna look really cool.
While John and Jen are cranking on the interior, the frame is back from powder. Now we can get to building that rolling chassis. Looks good, huh?
It's really gonna accent that car real nice.
Man, I love the hammer tone, the copper vein. You know, it's got the brown and the black imperfections in the factory frame. It just ties everything together. It's gonna look good. Get the engine on this thing, all the suspensions, get a rolling chassis, man. Then we'll set the body right on it, man.
That's good. I'm good. So Cadillac. Man, you always remember that one car when you're little, when you wanted or when you wanted to drive or when you rode around it.
Yeah.
Everybody has one of them cars, right?
Man, it's definitely a project me and my dad had. It was a 38 Ford with a 6-inch chop on it. It had a 427 in it. I mean, it was your typical straight rod. Everywhere we took the truck, I mean, it was just a good time. They didn't even make it back to the house before we had already chopped the top.
The one that stuck with me was the old family wagon 83 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Me and my brothers all rode in that thing. And
how many fights in the back seat y'all have?
Oh, a ton of them. Ton of fights.
Man, growing up on the farm, when I got to go to town, I'd always see a buddy of mine back then. He had hydraulics on a little Mazda. So I was 13, 14, see his truck going down the road.
Blew your mind, right?
It made me realize you can do anything you want if you put enough work into it. You know, you look back now and you realize how much that becomes part of the family. That car's still in your family. You still have that car. When your kids are in the backseat arguing, that's what your parents went through. I still have the first truck that I built.
You know, since it got here, it's hard to think of a spot that we haven't touched on this 74 Eldorado. From making it rear-wheel drive, to the custom chassis and suspension, you know, all that bodywork and paint, and now we're finishing up that handmade interior.
We're working on the subwoofer enclosure for Kim's 74 Cadillac. What this is a brace for inside of the enclosure so that when the subwoofer is playing and the box is trying to flex, this is actually going to hold it together so that you don't end up with a reverberating sound out of the box. Since you'll be able to see it through the window, I'm dressed up a little bit. We'll just put a chamfer on it, give it a little bevel, straighten it up. In the custom world, it's all the little things that you do that make all the difference. Coming together perfect. So, Jen's working on some side panels. I'm gonna start working out the front panels, get all this tied together, work our way around, we'll get this trunk wrapped out.
You know, all in all, I wasn't a fan of the 74 Caddy, but, you know, a good team comes together and makes cool stuff. An old car that you would just walk right past and not ever care in the world about to what it is. Man, you're talking about a transformation, and that is most definitely the definition of custom. It's been a long journey for the 74 Caddy. Now it's time to give it back to Kim.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
Hey, good.
Man, when I got your call last night, I didn't sleep a wink. I couldn't wait to get over here and see what you have done to my car.
When I came to your business and seeing that car for the first time, I definitely had reservations of taking on the job. I wasn't fond of the body style whatsoever, but since then, went through every nut and bolt, and we made that Cadillac come alive. The car is beautiful now. I'm impressed.
Sounds like I made you a fan of a 74 Eldorado now.
Yeah, now I am. Check this out.
Yes! Oh my God! Oh my God, it looks amazing! Look at it! To do this all the time when I pull up somewhere for a long time. I'm just speechless. I'm so excited to finally have it finished. It's beautiful, Bill.
It's a long way from what it was, right? Is that the right color brown you were looking for?
Perfect.
Getting that paint cocktail perfect, you know, with the right pearl, with the right metallic is key to making a job like this look 100%. 24s dropped all the way on the ground just changes the whole attitude of a vehicle. You pull this car up, you set it on the ground, everybody knows you've arrived in a cool car. We couldn't put a good looking wheel underneath of it, have a lot of power in the hood, and still keep it front wheel drive. So we just built a whole new
front part of the frame and made it rear-wheel drive.
So we can do some burnouts now?
Absolutely. You got something really cool here, and it's one of a kind. I want you to check out what we did under the hood.
Oh my God, look at that.
Long gone is the old Cadillac engine. This is a late model LT. You wanted some power under the hood? That's it.
This is amazing.
When you pop the hood, people are going to be impressed with what you got.
I think they will. I'm impressed.
Let's check out the interior.
Oh my God, look at it.
And you wanted it loud.
Yep.
This is definitely loud now. Have you seen the door panels? All the speakers in it? New console, wireless charging, just like a new car. And you see the big transmission hump. Wasn't anything there before. It was just flat.
I love how you did the wood grain on the sides. It's modern, but it still has that 1974 Eldorado feel.
And it's all backlit also. It looks really cool at night. You wanted your company logo built in here somewhere, and we have it in the door panels itself.
Never would have thought you would have incorporated it there, but I'm very pleased. It looks amazing. I don't think you missed one detail, Bill.
Well, you want to check the trunk out?
Let's go check it out.
Pop it up, man.
Oh my God. This is as cool as the rest of it.
Right. She had to have room for the bodies in the back, so we left you a lot of room back here. And it also has storage underneath here also, so you can still haul stuff and not have to worry about it sliding around. You had to have it loud, so we've got you a 12-inch sub in here also, so you not only hear it, you feel it.
Absolutely beautiful. Bill and his guys definitely knocked it out of the ballpark on this one. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. I love this car.
So we did good.
You did great is what you did.
I love hearing that. You made me a fan of the 74.
I'm glad I could bring you around. Thank you.
I can't thank my guys enough. Transforming something like what it was, what it is now, this is most definitely one more for the extensive record books. What you think, Timmy?
This thing's bad.
Little upgrade, right? The 22 International has that look of wanting to be customized.
Brand new equipment. You gonna chop it all up?
That's what we do, man. See what needs to be improved and get after it. 1960 Jeep Willys. Now the work really starts getting going. Putting all that metal back in place. You know, that's a huge job. But we're just really getting started.
Looks better already, huh?
We still don't have an engine for it.
I'm trying to find a late model Hellcat motor.
Lord, look at this thing, man!
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Let's see what happens here. Man, it always makes for a good day. Let's take a break from the shop, come out and check out the new slab. Relieve a little frustration. Doing donuts is going to be short-lived. This is soon to become the Extensive Metalworks' new headquarters with a lot more space. Extensive started in one small little 30 by 40 shop. For the past 25 years, we've just been building and building and building, and we're busting at the seams right now. There's nowhere else to build. Here we are, brand new property, about to build an even bigger facility, 8.5 acres, starting out with 30,000 square feet, and we'll see where it goes from there. We have plenty of space to keep going, keep progressing. I never would have dreamed this, so I can't say a dream come true, but this is the next phase in Extensive Metalworks evolution. We have a whole lot left to do before the new shop is finished and we can move in.
But some things can't wait, like the record. It seems like we just bought it, so I'm gonna run over to RPM, see my buddy Ryan.
What's happening, man?
What's up, Bill? See what he's got on the lot, get that new record going. Man, you know the 5500 you built me is a badass truck, but I got a little problem with it.
What's that?
You know, our builds always get bigger and better. You know, they've been getting heavier too. So I'm just feeling like I need a little bit bigger truck. I'm just overloading the one we got right now. I think it's time for, you know, a trade up.
Cool, let's go find another project.
Let's go check it out. And you got all kind of stuff out here.
We just sold him a new truck a year ago. What about something like this here?
Man, it's a big old truck.
You know, with Bill, whatever he has is going to get bigger, bigger, and bigger.
75 ton?
100 ton.
100, huh?
And go bigger.
Man, this is what I'm talking about right here. This size truck, I won't ever have a worry about anything again. But the International, man, I like that. Let's check that one out.
That's the one you need, come on.
Good looking truck, man. Love it. I love the pewter. You know, I'm usually a black truck guy, but pewter looks good. You know, just looking at the International, the other trucks are just a little more industrial. The International just has that look of just wanting to be customized.
26,000-pound GVW so you can haul the weight that you need to haul.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to worry about.
No swinging and banging.
Man, I love the wheelbase of this. You know, the air suspension on the back so we can get even lower, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's a must. I'm seeing a lot of potential here. Maybe split the bumper, maybe give it a little bit more length. Once you get the bed on, you get the toolboxes on, we can build a running board that comes from the front fender all the way back to the back, you know, right into the boxes itself and really finish all that out.
Brand new equipment. You're going to chop it all up?
Yeah.
Just like you do with everything.
That's what we do, man. See what needs to be improved and get after it. So once you do what you do, I'll get it over to my shop and do what I do.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Let's do this one.
Bill's going to do his own custom stuff once we're done, so we need to hurry up and get in action and take care of our side. Our cabin chassis that we're using has a long extended frame. We're going to need to whack that off at the back so we can have our pivot point, so we're going to cut the frame off at the right length that we need.
Now we're ready for the bed, and next step is going to be set the bed on the frame. Okay, coming down.
We're using a steel bed, 12,000-pound deck, 102 wide, thing that Bill puts on it. Get that welded on, bolted down, get that mounted up, and we'll move to the next step, which will be toolboxes.
Okay, push. This is the toolbox that we're going to install. We call it Monster Toolbox because it's the biggest one. It's a 78 by 20. All right. This is huge. Go in some more. Slowly, right there. We use silicone to seal the holes. That way the water doesn't go into the toolbox.
Yeah, all right. Bill took care of me so good on my dad's truck. We're gonna give it that little extra pizzazz. Sneak it off to the paint booth. Add this color and blend it on down here on the side rail. Give it that little extra customization.
We just got the truck back from the paint. It's ready to go, so now we're gonna put the pylon, which they painted too. We're gonna do the light bar after that, and then keep on with the winch cable and tow some trucks.
You know, it's real cool to build a rolling business card. This record is going to be one of Extensive's shop trucks. You know, something that we use on a daily basis that gets the job done, but it's got to look real cool while we're doing it. You don't want to be riding around a regular old record, you know, that everybody else has. When somebody sees our truck go by, I want not only the record community, but everybody to go, damn, that's a cool truck. Oh yeah, it just happened to be a record too. What you think, Timmy?
This thing's bad. Really nice.
Little upgrade, right?
First thing I noticed, though, it's got 22.5, so we should be able to haul whatever we want.
No more problems.
Is the deck longer on this one, too?
Way bigger, man. I mean, everything about it's just huge. Oh, RPM did real good on it, man. But it needs a little bit more upgrading. I want to build something that is not only a cool record, but I want it to be a cool truck.
Well, I already know you got something planned for here.
I mean, definitely got to build some running boards, you know, from the bottom of the cab all the way down where the lower step's at. From the front wheel to the rear wheels. Fenders over the wheels, you know, get rid of the mud flaps and all that.
That's going to look super clean.
Yeah, real cool. And, you know, the front bumper, too, you know, it looks too puny on here. So cut it, split it, stretch it. So it's the same height as a running board. It's all the way around. Gives it that meaner look from the front. Color match it and add a bunch of lights. It's going to look cool. You know, one other thing is replacing this pylon. Man, it looks cool. They did a great job, but I think it'd be way cooler with one big toolbox back here and with the light bar sitting on top. Something that really clean it up back here. And
especially down here in Texas, we need something to keep everything out of the weather. Well, the next question is, where are you going to work on this thing? It's too long for the bays. We can't shut the doors.
Yeah. You got to get it in where you fit it in, right?
Awning it is.
Yeah. Let's do it. Man, this is going to be the quickest teardown I think we've ever done, man.
I hope so.
Yeah. We're going to make a new toolbox.
Okay.
So we need to take off the pylon. All right, set this down. For now, we're going to leave the steps on until we draw out how the running boards are going to look. Shoot, the only thing else is the front bumper. That's it.
Okay, Bill was absolutely right. That was definitely the fastest teardown I've ever done.
We're in the process of figuring out how we're going to do the running boards for a factory truck. You know, the guy getting in and out of the truck every day, it works. But it just doesn't look cool. It don't look custom. We're going to fill in all this void in between the toolboxes and the fender, you know, pretty much from wheel to wheel. I want to have a nice, clean running board that's going to hide all this and have one long step. So it's going to look cool and be functional. It's going to be fun. You know, we're at one of the very beginnings of the process. You know, first you got the idea. Second, we're going to transfer the idea over to the chipboard. I'm going to make a pattern. Go check and see if it fits.
Do it, man.
But in the process of doing this, you're thinking in your head, hey, how can I make it cooler? How can I make it better? This is going to dead end right into the box. You need to make that a little longer.
That looks pretty good.
I got a little piece of scrap just so we can start bending and just make sure we don't bend ourselves into the corner. You know, I've bent pieces before and then it won't fit into the brake. So I'm just bending this at the shape we're going to bend in a big sheet. That way we don't waste a big sheet of metal. That won't work.
Yeah, that'll be the last bend too. We'll make it. Good morning.
What?
Yeah, man, I finally cut it.
Who are you?
It's been a while since I cut it. It's been a little over 3 years, so
Dude.
Feels so much different. It's not all my face when I ride, but you know, it's still taking getting used to. I keep on rubbing my face and my beard's not there. It's kind of crazy.
Well, it's good to have old Jaime back.
Right on.
You know, for me, a big key to metal fabrication is making it look like it came from the factory like this. We're bending the running boards on the 22 International. We're going to make it match the overall shape and flow of the factory truck.
Come on down.
Ready?
Yeah, try that.
You know, it's really critical in bending anything like this with multiple bends to make sure every bend is in the right spot. If you mess up on the first one, all the other ones are going to be out of whack and crooked. It's going to be, we definitely don't want that.
We're at this bend, right?
Yeah. I don't love bending metal. Just satisfying, you know what I mean? There you go.
looks good.
Yeah.
It's definitely change the look of that thing.
There's one way to find out. Push it in a little bit. All right. It's pretty close. Now you can kind of see where all the bins actually fit on the truck itself. One clean look all the way from front wheel all the way to the back. Damn, that's pretty badass.
Man, you ought to see out there what Bob did that Jeep. He cut the whole thing in half this way. He cut it that way. So the Jeep's now in 4 pieces.
Oh, man. What y'all talking about?
I was just explaining to Max how Bob just walked right up to that Jeep, just looked at it, and just cut it straight in half.
Man, you'd be heartbroken. I brought in Bob for one of our biggest metal jobs in a while. The owner of a pristine Willys Jeep wants to give it that mean bulldog look. So Bob quartered it, making it wider and longer. We got it all braced up. Now the work really starts getting going.
It looks totally different.
Mm-hmm. Cutting the cab up into 4 pieces. It's just a start. Putting all that metal back in place. That's a huge job. From that to building the frame, chopping the front end up, widening it, building a full bed, painting. After all that's done, huge interior job. And we still don't have an engine for it.
What motor are you going with on that one?
Oh man, you gotta have the Hellcat in, right?
You did decide with Hellcat?
Yeah. This truck came with an old straight 6, but that definitely won't cut it. The Hellcat's a 6.2 with over 700 horsepower stock. Way too much power for it, right? So that's just right. It's pretty much a race engine, not something you normally put in a truck. I know it's next to impossible to find a new one, right? Supply chain crap is all out of whack.
We're a year out on those.
So, let's go. The next best thing is trying to find a pull out of something, late model, very low mileage, clean engine.
So I got a few feelers out, and the ones I've found so far are either, they've been in a high-speed wreck, so the whole front's mangled. The Hellcat on it, so we got to have an actual real Hellcat.
Yeah, I want the real deal.
Got to have it. Hopefully, shouldn't be too much longer. We'll have something to fit in there.
Yeah, we're going to need something pretty quick, man, so pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
You ready?
Y'all have fun.
All right.
Today I'm running around town trying to locate a Hellcat motor for this Jeep Willys. Houston has so many incredible little places for parts, but you gotta know where to look. Hola, Jefe!
Hey, how you doing, brother?
What's up, my man? So I'm here at Tex-Mex today. It's a junkyard, so they have all kinds of stuff. And what some people think is junk is big money to this guy. Man, you got all kinds of motors over here.
We sure do.
You keep all kinds of good stuff, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Some of these motors just look like complete junk. They've been on fire, they're wrecked. That's a new, LT motor?
Yes, sir.
Got a little hot, huh?
Yes, a little bit.
But a lot of stuff you can just pull off, replace, and it's still fully usable.
2006 5.3 out of Chevy pickup 4x4.
That's a good motor. That's on the hot rod motors. Everybody's wanting the LSs. This one's not going to be here long.
Yeah, somebody already have put down.
That one's already sold?
Yes, sir.
That happens. Ooh, big Cummins diesel.
Yes, sir. 5.9 diesel motor. All 5 dash pickup.
Everybody wants one. Yeah. Man, there's a lot of good stuff here that we could use, but I'm really on the hunt for that Hellcat. So if you find one low mileage, brand new in the box, any one of those, give me a shout. We'll come over, I'll grab it, and we'll get it in this project.
Back at the shop, we're getting busy on the metal work for the Jeep. By stretching it out, we gained in between 6 and 8 inches on the body. Now Bob's gonna make it all seamless.
Okay, right now I'm trimming this piece into here. That'll be the start of this. You notice these are rounded on the ends and this is squared off. We're gonna round these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split it right here, and then we're gonna actually hand hammer it all around. Okay, we got it all hammered out. What we did here is we made the ends round, and then it'll have a nice finished edge, just like the rest of the doors do. Okay, now we got this welded in. We got the lines here rounded off, bodywork, it'll look perfect. We made an extra long piece. We're We're gonna use about half of it to match the contour of the cab. See how it mates up to it really nicely? But to do that, we're gonna have a problem because they don't really have a roller for doing this. So we're gonna make some special tooling. It should be pretty cool. Okay, let's looking at the junkyard.
Since I opened Extensive over 2 decades ago, I hate throwing stuff away.
Probably even use a coil, but I don't want to ruin something they might use.
You know, as a lifelong fabricator, you just never know when you can use something. So I'm definitely not surprised Bob using old parts to make a new tool for that 60s Jeep.
This is too big, huh?
No, that's perfect. We need 3 of them. We're going to use these old U-bolts here we found in the boneyard to build our tooling to bend this. What we're going to do is we're going to weld 3 of them together, and then we're going to use a rubber mallet, and that'll give us our curve. This is why it's a good idea to never throw anything away.
So I'm new here at the shop, and having an opportunity to work with a guy like Bob Grant is just amazing.
That looks pretty good. Like that?
Okay.
We're gonna weld them in like this.
So they don't teach you this kind of stuff in school, so it's really cool to learn how to do it. It takes a lot of experience and years of work to really figure it out. So I'm having a pleasure learning it. As you can see, our tool came out pretty good. Lines up perfectly with our bend. So now it's time to put it to use.
This is a hard piece to form because there's 3 rolls we gotta do here. The edge is a little bit wavy, so I got this hammer. We're gonna fine tune it. Worked pretty good though for some old U-bolts. Okay, we got it pretty good now. Matches our pattern. Might be a little bit long on the sides here, but we'll check it out and see how it looks. The ribs here match these. What I'll do is I'll cut this out and butt weld it all. That'll finish the body line around the back and match the cab perfectly. Our new piece in here, that new tool really helped us out. Matches the ribs perfectly. We'll install the other side and get it all ground up. And we got this corner all ground down, all the body lines match up. Next, we're gonna build some filler panels for these. Cut out our pieces and pre-fit them. And then we'll start tack welding them in there. Okay, so we got this all cut out, but when we were cutting it, I noticed there's like a good ½ inch of lead right here. So evidently this thing got hit pretty bad at one point. I'm gonna cut out that area. I'll re-roll another cap piece. We noticed it kind of hit the inner structure a little bit too. Well, you can kind of see all the damage here. So this whole corner is built out of lead. That's not even a real corner. Looks like I could maybe get rid of some of it just by digging it out. Maybe hammer it a little better. This piece I'll have to replace though. All lead right there. So my next step is to remake this little flange here and roll this little piece. So this is how they should have fixed it the first time. So back in the day, they used lead to repair a lot of damage on cars, and they'd put it on with wooden paddles. They'd heat it all up and put it on, and they'd use it just necessarily the right way to do it. A lot of people like using it, but I don't. It's really poisonous. It stays in your system. Actually looks pretty good. High octane, unleaded. It gets pretty exciting seeing all the pieces go back in. So it's starting to look like an actual vehicle. Yeah, it'll be all ready to go, just like factory.
I'm on the hunt for something, man, and I'm hoping you're gonna be the guy that's gonna help me out. A lot of guys only look for parts on the internet, and I do too. I'm trying to find a late model Hellcat motor. All right, let me get this number from you.
but I found as much success going old school. You know, picking up the phone, calling everybody I could think of.
75,000 miles and it's been run to the track. Yeah, and that's not really what I'm hunting for, man. I appreciate it, though.
The customers, they don't care if the parts are hard to find. They just want what they want, and they want it yesterday.
One was on fire. I definitely don't need that one.
These Hellcat motors are race engines. A lot of times they end up destroyed, being driven too hard or crashed.
Oh no, no paperwork? Yeah, let me look into this and I'll get back with you.
It doesn't have paperwork, but it's still got a chunk of frame around it, so I don't know that
that sounds stolen just a little bit, right?
Well, on to the next one. We're trying.
We're almost finished with those custom steps on the 22 International. So Jamie's out there putting the final pieces onto the design. We got a little filler piece in between the running board and the box, Jamie. So all we want to do is, you know, we got this step hanging out. So let's just cut the little end of it off, give it a little nice little gradual step into the filler.
Yeah, that's definitely what it needs. We could have just capped this and been done with it, but we took the extra step, you know, a lot of cutting, some bending, folding, to go ahead and add this cap to tie in, and then we're going to add this piece to tie into that. You know, it's all the things you really don't see that takes the time, you know, but when it's all together, it looks like it's supposed to. You know, I could have just left the box alone and not added this piece, but I'm going to see this truck every day, and it's going to ring over and over in my head. I could have done that. I should have my other piece right here. Getting a little freedom to do kind of what I want to. You know, I'm really happy with it. Bill's definitely got the confidence in me to take care of this by myself. There we go. I'm happy with it. Bill's going to love it. I'm going to be able to look at that and be proud of it. Birds are chirping, dogs are barking, metals flying. Fix and weld some stuff.
The 22 International is going to be our new record that'll represent the shop. So of course it needs to fit the part. So I'm thinking a meaner bumper that'll give it the right look.
So with everything that we're customizing on the truck, you know, this bumper right here really stands out. It's too short, so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and splice it, add my 6 inches in between, give it that nice aggressive look from the front so it matches the rest of the truck. I'm gonna do this in 3 pieces. My middle section first, stick this in the roller, just give it a little shape. Now you can see it's got a little curve to it. That's gonna be way too pitched forward. The bumper be touching the wheels, probably even pitched down. Edge a little bit right here, sand it back just a little bit more till I'm happy, so I can get that perfect pitch where it's flat instead of just tucking down. Oh, you see me running my hand across it like this. Basically, I'm seeing if my fingernail grabs it. If my fingernail grabs it, I know it's too high. If it's just a smooth transition on my fingernail, I know that's right where I need to be. Then we'll go ahead and start on the sides. Gonna roll out. And that's tricky here. You know, it's not like the middle piece. I have a radius going this way, so I need to trim this piece off because I don't want it being short on this end. I still want the same distance so the bumper's even all the way down. The bumper's forming up real quick. I like the shape. Go ahead and start tacking in, walk it all the way down. Once I get this side, duplicate it, do the other side, trim it. Next, we're gonna be adding this piece. Now this is my center mark right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure between these holes, find my center, bang, bang, boom, we're gonna tack it. I'm going back and forth because I don't want any of these ends, you know, they're loose, you know. I'm clear right there, I'm not over, I'm not under. I'm making sure I'm consistently even all the way across. Once I get it all tacked in, then I can come back and start filling in between my tacks. Now you can see, I got the bumper stretched now. It was a lot of work, but final product, man, this thing's sharp. It's gonna look good on that truck.
Max is great at what he does. You give him something to do, consider it done. And wouldn't you know, he found the Hellcat for the 60s Willys Jeep.
I got a buzz online that Buddy Lynn, who's like a local car collector, he's got one. So I'm over here now to see if we can make a deal and get this thing. Man,
finally got you out of here.
Yeah, how are you?
Man,
you got a couple cars out today, don't you?
pick your poison. What you thinking?
Wow. I've always heard Lynn was a little bit of a car collector, but I didn't know that it was to this extent. You got a little bit of everything.
Got my baby right here, the Demon baby. We did a lot of modifications to it. Awesome. You know, top end, bottom end pulleys. You know,
she's full go fast.
She's full go fast.
This guy's got Jeeps on tracks. He's got a side-by-side rat rods.
Then your boy over here did this as well, Justin.
Real nice. I think he's got a little bit of everything. Is that a big wheel trike?
She did that for my wife for Mother's Day, man. You know, one of a kind.
She got good taste.
She's happy, I'm happy.
That's all about
I get to buy what I want to buy as long as she gets it.
You're right. Speaking of buying, you got a motor I'm looking for.
We got a little something over here for you. You've been waiting on, man.
Let's go check it out.
We got it. Let's roll. Being in the car game, you know, you come across everything and everybody that wants to buy certain things. And I happen to have a 2019 Red Eye Motor and Trans. Yeah, there she is, the golden girl. What you been wanting, baby?
That's exactly what I've been hunting for.
She ain't missing nothing, baby. Wild Hornets, the old Capone HP2. She has a little cam work pulley system. Top end of it's done. You know, whole 9 yards.
Red Eye.
There we go, baby. That's her.
Just putting down what, 11?
1175. Like I said, by the time you get done with it, 1200. You know how that goes.
It's got a whole bunch of oomph in it. Whole bunch. How many miles do you think's on it?
Give or take 25, 35.
Perfect.
Right up in there. Now my question is, what is this going in?
It's going in a 1960 Jeep Willys.
Wow. Wow. That little bitty Jeep truck for this, that Willys gonna do a Willie. I would love to see that though.
I appreciate you holding on to it, because I know if I didn't show up and get it,
somebody was on the way.
I guarantee
told me to be here in 20 minutes. If you ain't come, I promise you they was coming through that gate.
Well, let's get it loaded up, man. I'll get out your hair.
It's all love, baby.
I appreciate you, man.
All right.
That is exactly what we were looking for. This one showed up that just weren't up to what we were looking for, because either it was in a wreck or, you know, it's just been beat to death because it's a race car motor. But luckily this one looks really well taken care of, and that's a little bit less pressure on this build now that we found the heartbeat.
We got one more piece to fill in the 60s Willys. It's also the biggest piece, that roof. Wouldn't you know, our old parts coming in use again.
Does that look like a top to 59 Caddy to you?
Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the one Bill said we could use, soft Slim Tug's car.
Cool, let's do it. We left a little bit extra on the side just in case, because it's better to have it a little bit too long that we can trim it to fit. So let's see if it comes off here. Alrighty.
We're gonna take the roof skin over here, put it up top. So it looks like we're gonna cut it about 10 inches. Just a little bit better way to do it, because you're not welding so much in the middle of the skin, because it always wants to sag. And under there with the dolly, and it just takes forever. It's doable, but it's kind of a waste of time. Looks better already, huh? I know this looks crazy and bad right now, but once we get it all cut out and trimmed up, it's gonna look perfect. See how it fits perfect. That's just the way it goes, huh? Man, this turned out good. It looks all in proportion. It's lengthened, it's widened. I mean, it's everything they asked me to do. This thing's gonna be really, really cool when it's all finished.
Killed it on the metalwork on the 60s Jeep. Juan and the body guys, they got after it as well. And now the Jeep body looked like it rolled off the Willys assembly line back in 1960.
Well done. Man, I love it, man. I love seeing it in this state.
compared to what it was a couple weeks back. Chopped up in many, many pieces. You guys killed it, man. Seeing the cab in this state just gets everybody excited in the shop and gets those creative juices flowing. So much work has been done to this already. We got many, many, many man hours, but we're just really getting started. Oh yeah. Just getting the front end where it needs to be. That's a whole nother project in itself. We're gonna build the whole frame, build all the suspension, then put the engine, then put the trans, then build the firewall, building the whole handmade bed for it. This is such a daunting project. We got a long way to go, man.
Oh yeah. All right, man, it's all yours.
You know, if you're not from Houston, you may not know it can get really cold in the winter. And today, it's going to be freezing. So we're trying to make room to fit that big old International inside, where we can make the custom toolboxes. You know, the pylon that was on it, it was cool. It's good looking for most wreckers, but in this case, you know, I want something a little more little box. One of the major challenges in this is getting the look right, because you can just build a box, put it on, and just totally ruin the look of the truck. I got my piece of aluminum square tubing soapstone on it, and I'm just going to trace around the cab so it goes along with the rest of the truck.
The soapstone lines are good, but a lot of times they're real hard to see once you got a saw right on it. So I'm just gonna lay me down some fine line tape right on the line so you get a better visual of where you're cutting. A little bit of dish soap helps the aluminum from sticking to the blade, clogging it up. Helps lubricate it, keeps it from sticking. Our secret cutting saws will be available soon on the web store. Now we got the first piece all cut out, and we're gonna get another full sheet and lay it across the back. Now we need a magic stick, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna trace this edge off the cab, but off of this, to get that back piece the same shape as this. The reason for that is the back one's gonna be an angle, so it's not gonna be exactly the same as this. It's gonna be a little taller.
You got it so it lines up?
I hope so.
Good shape though, it fits the cab really good. And we're making some headway right now. We got the back part of the wall in, and we're starting to build from the back wall out. So it's a lot easier to do that other than building a box and then putting shelving in. So put the shelves in, and then we'll just keep on building from there all the way out. Just doing the quick layout of the door spacing right there. And we're about to cut out the door opening, so we want to make that 100% right and true. We get one shot at it, unless you want to buy some more metal. 1/8" aluminum isn't very cheap.
Made me a template with some chipboard of that wraparound that comes from the top down to the side. Majority of our lines are straight, so what I'm gonna do is cut most of it I can with the straight edge, and then all the curves I'll go back with a jigsaw. That fits really, really well. Take this off and I guess put it on the floor over there. It's a little heavy. Start building these doors. We got all the door frames welded in place, sanded, smooth. All I need is this measurement here. So our door is going to be about 21.5 inches. We got to overcut it about 3/4 of an inch on each side, and top and bottom. That way we can cut the corners out, break each side, and it'll give us a partial box. Makes the door stronger, it won't flex as much, and you know it'll tuck inside this frame that we built here. Now all we need is a little handle right here to lock it, keep it from opening up while you're driving. Kind of hard to believe this all started off on just flat sheets of aluminum.
There's an old saying, time to lean, time to clean. I'm never not working. Best way to prove that you're a hard worker to everybody is to pick up a broom and start sweeping when nobody even asked you to. I feel like a lot of cats my age think that they're going to start running a company at the age of 23, which not always is the case. You know, you have to start somewhere and work your way up. You got to do the grunt work and you got to earn it. It all boils down to work ethic. You know, and you get more opportunity to move up. My love of cars started when I was maybe in middle school. My father had a really nice looking truck that he bought one time, and since that day I've always kind of wanted something custom of my own. It's nice to have something that not everybody else has, but something that at the same time says a little bit of something about you. So I decided to go to a trade school, and that's what really kick-started everything for me. Extensive stood out to me just because of the crazy amount of detail that goes into all these cars. I knew I wanted to be a part of that. I'm learning more and more every day, and this is going to bring me right where I need to be.
All the parts we made for the 22 International were coming together. John finished the toolbox. We had it all color matched, and it looks great. And to top it all off, we're adding over 100 LED lights.
You know, Bill wanted a ridiculous amount of lights on this truck, and exactly what we're doing. When you think you got enough lights on it, put about 100 more.
So this is the most wiring I've ever put in the vehicle. I know we have a couple thousand feet of wire in this thing, and all of those right here.
We spent a ton of time on this record so far, and I've been wanting to show off what we did. Our show, I told him, man, I got you. I'll pick up Blue Thunder on our brand new record, and we'll all go together.
Look who's showing up already. Oh, Lord, look at this thing, man. Look at that bumper. Those lights, man.
Whoa, look at those toolboxes.
Damn. You did your thing here.
What you think, man?
Man, that's gorgeous.
That's not the same truck that we just built?
It don't look like it anymore, right? You guys are phenomenal at doing what you're doing, but, you know, just had to take it to the extensive level, you know.
We make sure that it works good, you make sure it looks good.
Yeah. You know, you never really know how someone's going to take it when you take their work and work on it from there, but, you know, these guys really appreciate what we do.
Look at this, man. Oh.
You know, to have someone like Ryan admire the work that you do, you know, that's a high honor.
Man, look at that. All the lights on the motors and everything, it looks really great.
One of the first things I wanted to do is fill in that big void where the batteries were, the gas tank. You already have the toolboxes in the right spot. Tenuous box pretty much from the front wheel all the way back to the back. And of course we had to split the bumper and make it lower too. So it just looks a lot meaner when it's coming down the road at you.
It's beautiful with the stretch and the molding in there and color match.
You know, I wanted to get rid of all the chrome and just make it all look the same all the way front, all the way to the back.
Man, it looks wonderful. We built a lot of records, like a lot, but nothing like this one. This one is like gorgeous.
Oh, what you doing with my pylon, man?
Had to change up a little bit. Hey, it was cool. But I was envisioning something just to totally cover up the back of the cab. You know, I'd like a little more extra storage. So, you know, we built the toolbox to match, you know, the body itself.
You built that by hand?
That's all handmade in the shop, man. Every bit of it.
I think I need to order like 12 of them from you, man.
We can make that happen.
That toolbox setup really flowed together, and for functionality, it's really, really perfect for the truck.
Once that was all built, we just had to finish it back up, put the light bar back on the top, so it's a legit tow truck now. Speaking of, you ready to get Blue Thunder loaded up?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Everybody at the shop kills it. I mean, working late, like, but, you know, a team comes together, cool stuff comes about. Well, I'm ready to get to the show off the new record, show off Blue Thunder, show the world once again what we're capable of. What is the strongest chassis around that's been, you know, tried and true? You know, this buggy's really been keeping me up at night. You know, we built a bunch of frames here at Extensive, but never an all-tube chassis before. You get a little nervous of how big of a project something like this is. You know, one of my favorite vehicles just rolled into lot, the Hummer H1.
We need help getting a cage built.
They're going to use this as their chase truck, and they want it really safe.
We want to do one more thing. Oh, man.
I told you I had something for you.
That's crazy.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal. Off-road buggy. You know, I want something that's going to go anywhere, do anything, and not have any issues. That's what brings me out here today. What stronger chassis is out there than a monster truck? You know, a friend of mine, Dylan, told me I could come out today and just drive his around, get a feel for it. You know, see what this chassis, this suspension's all about. Trucks, what can I say? There's not a better truck on the planet. A day like this is a dream come true. From a little kid going in the arenas, seeing the monster trucks jump, run around, just go crazy. I mean, today is an awesome day to finally get to do that in person while doing some research. Good day.
Well,
man,
what do you think?
Man, I appreciate that, man. That's every guy's dream to get to do that.
No problem. It's a big tumble buggy, really, you know.
The one thing I'm really interested in is the chassis design itself. I've had a bunch of toys over the years, and, you know, side-by-sides, and right out the box, you take them out, and they fail 50% of the time.
Yeah.
You know, I want to build a tube chassis buggy with a lot of horsepower, big wheels and tires, and I want to be able to take it wherever I want to take it and not have issues. So I was thinking, what is the strongest chassis around that's been, you know, tried and true? And you got it right.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's not any.
Yeah, we put them through its paces, you know, like we jump 20, 30 feet every weekend, you know. There's really no weak point on the chassis.
Right. I know you guys designed this on a computer.
You know, this one was designed in a program called SolidWorks. You can literally build the chassis, manipulate it, and not only that, you can strength test it and everything like that. So that's really the cool part is you can test like the weaknesses and, you know, if you got to add a bar or something like that. You can literally take that and then extract the files. And then if you want to send it to a guy that cuts it, you know, they can perfectly tube notch every tubing. So it'd be like a big puzzle piece, you know. You just put it together.
I can definitely do that.
I feel like that's what you need.
For sure.
There you go. And then you'd be doing backflips and everything else like me.
I don't know about that.
Come on now.
Thank you.
Ain't no problem. Thanks for coming out.
Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. See you later.
You know, I'm known for hand-making chassis, and I'm proud of it. But, man, after driving this thing, I'm ready to give the new computer age a shot. Maybe just this one time. Favorite vehicles just rolled into lot. The Hummer H1, iconic, just military, tough truck. I'm gonna go outside and see what's going on with it. What's up, fellas?
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
What's happening, man?
Good.
Come on, Mafia guys, huh?
Yeah, you got
the
it.
Hummer guys?
Absolutely,
That's
we
what
are
we
the
do.
Hummer guys.
Man, I love these H1s, man. Every American needs one of these, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. They're like nothing else. This started as a 2001 Hummer H1 wagon, so the full top civilian.
Oh, it had.
Yep. We've stripped the wagon roof off,
full interior AC seats, rear, all that stuff. And we're down 2,200 pounds, so 6,200 pounds right now.
The Mod Mafia guys, they got a cool custom shop as far as just H1 enthusiasts. They sell their parts and pieces all over the world. They are very, very well known with a great reputation. You guys are the H1 guys. What do you need from me?
We need help getting a cage built, roll cage. Metalwork, that's what y'all do. We're gonna be using this as a trail truck our time back too. We wanna make it rad, make it safe, and safety and roll cages is not quite in our wheelhouse. We need your help to do that.
Yeah, you're not taking this on some crazy trails. You flip this sucker over, you're gonna die, right?
Yeah, it'd be real bad with what it's got sitting there right now.
Definitely. So, trail truck, you're not gonna make it pretty shiny.
No, we got other trucks for that. This one is meant to go see some pain. It's meant to be beat up and scratched, so it's meant to be like this, but we're wanting you to put some design in it and kind of zazz it up, because that's what's gonna be the showcase of this truck.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna be the restoration of it.
And just a cage for
the front
or all the way back to the back?
The front. I think it's important just to kind of put some of the cage where it's protecting the body so we don't just absolutely crush it in.
Something out here in case you do rub against a tree or...
This is aluminum.
Yeah.
It's very malleable. It's going to crush.
Right. So coming around, coming down, tying into here, bolt to the body, tying into the frame, but you also want it to protect the side as well.
The rear fender. Yep.
This is going to be real cool.
We want to do one more thing.
What's that?
We want to have a mount on the top for a machine gun.
Oh, most definitely.
Not as this only going to be a trail truck, we're going to have some fun in it too.
Man, that makes my day.
What's going to be cooler than an extensive roll cage, a trail truck mount on top? I can't think of anything.
So, you're wanting the cage to protect the two drivers. Yep. Come all the way back to the back. Protect the out part of the body. And to be able to shoot from the top also.
Oh, yeah.
And I get to shoot it, right?
Oh, yeah. You're going to get to shoot it. Yeah, of course.
Well, man, let's go make it official.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let's do it.
Coming to work every day. It's always something different. You know, one day we're bolting on chrome, polishing paint. Next day we get to work on something rough and rugged, just like this H1. That's what I like about projects like this. You just get in, get to work, build some cool stuff, and go have fun with it. It doesn't matter about fit and finish or your color. It matters how tough, how just mean it looks, and the whole overall flow of the project with a whole lot of safety built in. You know, this truck's going to be going where most trucks will never, ever go. And when it comes time to that day that this truck might be upside down on its roof, you got to make sure it's going to be safe. Man, I love projects like this that you don't have to worry about how gentle you shut a door. You don't have to worry about where you park. There's no stress. It's a stress reliever.
Why do we have a camo Hummer in the parking lot? Did you sell your side-by-side?
I'd really like to have one of these, but that's not what we're talking about today. But you know, the Mod Mafia guys, this is theirs. You know, they go to competitions all over the country, you know, going through ravines, trails, whatever it is. They're going to use this as their chase truck, and they want it really safe. So there's not going to be a roof or anything on it. So we're going to build a custom cage to cover all this.
So I understand why they want a little bit of safety, man. Them guys go through some crazy stuff. They do some big terrains. They really push them Hummers. So you're building just another cage from here to here, and just going all the way.
You know, we don't want it to go all the way back and down. He wants it more of a two-seater style cage, and then come down and, you know, something that's going to protect the sides. The thing we got to really get creative with is attaching it to the frame itself. On the H1, the frame's inboard, so this is the frame rails right here. So there's not much at all as far as strength on the outer points of this. So if it does flip over, just that, you know, connecting to the outer points ain't really gonna do it.
You want it to look cool, like it's meant for this vehicle, but we want it to be super strong.
That's it. And we got a little bonus on this. We're gonna put a swivel gun mount up here.
Like a real mount a gun up there and go fire?
Yeah. So I told him, man, I don't have a problem doing that for you. It's gonna be real cool.
All right, well, let me find out what bay we can put it in. We can get started on that. Let's get going.
Let's do it, man. Before we can design the roll cage, we need a much stronger foundation to build upon. So I'm having Tim bend some new pans to cover the body of the top of the truck.
Right now, this is just aluminum. there's really no strength. This whole thing just moves. So we're making a whole cover for this. I will make a template out of this chipboard that's going to cover all this. We're basically going to make a plate break down the sides and also come and break this way and in the front. So next we're going to bend this chipboard on the brake. I know it looks a little crazy, but what it's going to do, it's going to put me a crease all the way down it that I know where this needs to bend, where the ends need to bend. I can place it over the top of the truck. When this fits perfect, I'll give it to Jesse and he can burn me 2 of them out. You know, this is one of the reasons that I like doing the template first is I can come in and make some little adjustments here, like on this corner, how the tailgate indents in right here. I know I need to cut this out, but it's easier to do it on this template, and then when he burns it out over there, I can put everything up here. It's 100%.
Some of my favorite builds have been just like this 2001 H1. It's just a great truck to build off of. Once Timmy finishes reinforcing the back end, we're going to make a roll cage that fits this thing perfectly.
We're going to line up our mark here and here. We'll put this in the brake. We'll put it on 90 degrees. Bend that corner, we'll flip it. Do this corner, we'll take it to the truck. We got rid of all the holes, the indentions, the lines, the rivets, everything, and it just cosmetically looks better. But it's going to make the whole truck come together as one piece. How's it look down there, James?
Man, it's perfect. You did a good job. I mean, bends on point. It's nice and solid, man. It's way better than what we had before.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know everything fits. Go ahead and start welding the corners together. First time I ever seen a Hummer was actually on the train car. I mean, you know, just driving on the highway, we're taking a family vacation, and, you know, all of a sudden I see all these Humvees on his train car. I'm like, wow, man, those things are crazy. So getting to work on one, you know, and make it better, I mean, it just doesn't get no better than these things. These things are bulletproof. I mean, mud, you can climb a tree with one of these things.
The body of this thing's aluminum. So we're using a steel, so you can't weld the two together. So what we have to do now, drill the bolt holes in it. They'll be bolted from the back, from the front, from the outside, and the inside. So it'll be 100% stronger, and then we're ready for the cage. And if anything ever did happen, they need to access something, they can unbolt this and see what's going on. All right, now we got that where we want it. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out the inside. I'll go ahead and drill those, bolt those, and we'll continue the process for the outside and the front.
What's she doing?
Come see old Dad.
Yeah. Go see. It's probably gonna cost me money.
Guarantee it.
What you doing, girl?
I just want to come down. Hi.
Hi. You just want to come see me today?
Yeah. I mean, I was.
Come on now. What'd you do to your car?
Nothing. I haven't done anything to it.
It's always good when your kids show up to work, but, you know, when it's a surprise, you got that little apprehension of what are they here for? What do they want? How much is this going to cost me?
I mean, I love this car, and it rides so high, you know, like I've gotten made fun of for that, and the wheels. I mean, just the wheels, like, there's not anything special about them.
Oh, poor little 17-year-old got a brand new car.
I know, it's just, I don't know, you see, like, my mom's car, you know, like, you know, hers is cool, and, like, you always say, like, you know, you can't have her riding around with, like, you know, a really stock car. I don't know, I want to have a cool car too, just like everyone else.
I can definitely understand the age she is, you know, 17 years old, your personality is wanting to come out. And that's just one more form of your personality come out, is customizing your car. So, is this your way of shaking me down for some wheels and tires and lowering your car? Is that what you're doing?
Kinda, I'd want to, yeah.
It's not your birthday.
I know, but just like, I don't know, I've been wanting to do it for a while, you know? I've had this car for like about a year and a half. It's my first car. You know, it was a cool car to begin with, but I mean, like, once I had it longer, I just wanted to do stuff to it just to make it that much better. I don't know, I just want to do something to it,
you know what? That makes me real proud that you want to have a
I want to represent what you do too, yeah, with my car.
Most 17-year-old girls could care less with.
Exactly. I want to do stuff to my car. I want to make it look, I want to make it stand out and be something different.
And what'd you name her?
Caroline.
Yeah. Wheels and tires. Probably like a 22, like a blacked out 2022 on here.
Yeah.
I know you like to have it all blacked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you put that on it, it's got to be lower, right?
Yeah.
Probably change the grill out too, man. Something cool, you know, in the front also, right?
Yeah, that'll look great.
You know, your first paycheck went to the air intake. You know, you got the cool exhaust on it already. You already got the louvers on the back. So, yeah. You know what? I definitely want you to have a cool car, too. You know, I'll make a deal with you.
Okay.
The stipulation is that you're going to work on it with me.
Okay.
So you're going to get your butt in the shop, get dirty, and get after it. So if I say, hey, hand me that tool, right here, I got it. Hold on, I'm texting somebody.
Okay. So if I do help you, then we will put them on there? Like, actually? Okay, that'd be cool.
That sound good?
Yeah.
Is that a deal?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go pick out some wheels.
Okay.
Tell you what, you talk about a proud dad, that's this guy right here. You know, my kids having especially my daughter, that makes me very, very proud, and it's like the coolest thing ever. She got her first job working at a restaurant. She got her first paycheck, and she came up to the shop and ordered an air intake. So the enthusiasm is there. She wants to fix it up. She wants to look cool when she's riding down the road, and we're going to get her hooked up. You know, it's pretty cool to say she's a chip off the old block, you know. She wants to roll up and people know she's there. And it's really cool when you do roll up, somebody says, hey, where'd you get that done? She gets to say, you know, I did it. You know, to be able to bond with my daughter, teach her some stuff, let her get dirty, learn some things. It's a win-win for both of us. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm excited too. You've been really taking care of this. You've been doing good in school. I'm proud of you. So, first things first, we'll get it on the lift, get it jacked up. Really, the main important thing is when you're putting the car on the lift, is finding the right points when the whole weight of the vehicle's on it. You just don't want to put it underneath there and pick it up.
Yeah.
You got to find the proper pickup points on it. If not, you'll crush the floor, crush fuel lines, electrical lines. There's all that stuff hanging underneath the car. So it's important to find that. Good.
I really want this car to look good, so I don't really mind, you know, getting my hands dirty and working on it, you know? I'm excited for what it'll look like later.
All right, you get that one?
Yeah. Bam, nice touch. So we're gonna take the nut off of the coilovers and then put the new springs on. It's really cool to have a dad who knows so much about cars. I feel like I didn't even used to like cars until I got my car. If I didn't have a dad who did this stuff, I would be trying to save like so much money to try and do this stuff, and I probably wouldn't even try. But having a dad who does it, it's really cool. I'm really lucky, you know?
So you got the top loose already? So the only thing we have to do now, there's a little bracket for the sway bar here. Okay. We'll take that loose. Okay. We can take the whole spring out, and then we'll replace it. Right off this.
Okay.
So right now, grab a socket. It fits on the sway bar bracket. And while you're doing that, go ahead and find the one for the bottom also.
Okay. The first thing that I've done to my car, the intake, I've worked on with my dad a little bit. I tried to put it together by myself, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And then he's helped me spray paint the taillights, and then we've worked on the exhaust for it too. And this is by far, though, like the most hands-on I've the tighter coils at the front.
We got the coilovers out, old springs off of the 2020 Challenger. Now Presley and I are installing the new springs. They're going to get her car a little bit lower. Way down.
They look awesome. I love that they're red because it sticks out way better than like how it was black.
There we go.
Yeah.
So before we put the wheels and tires on, there's one more thing we got to do. Put that grill in. I know you want to see that too.
Yeah. You have to wait all the way till the end to see the wheels?
Yeah. It's like the cherry on top. It just rushed right into that.
I guess. Okay, well, let's get it done.
Well, let's do it. You ready to do that?
Yeah.
Let's tackle it. You know, it makes me real proud to have her in the shop working, you know, getting her hands dirty. being appreciative for what we're doing and learning in the process. So, really good day for Dad. Come on with it. Keep going. Alright, stop. Alright, bottom. Alright. What you think?
It looks amazing.
All blacked out.
Yeah.
It just looks mean coming at you.
It looks mean. Oh my gosh, it looks awesome.
Wheel surprise for you. Come on, bring it on in, man. Check them out.
Oh my
god. The 22s.
Those are awesome.
The TIS 22s.
Yeah.
Those are brand new.
Oh my god.
Those are cool.
Those are so cool.
You want to put them up?
Yeah.
See what it looks like with it on there?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
It looks awesome. It looks way better than how it did before.
I'm jealous. I'm
jealous too, and it's my car.
Thank you for your help. You did a great job today.
Yeah.
You know, this buggy's really been keeping me up at night. You know, a project like this to somebody who creates, fabricates, welds, there isn't a more exciting project than this. You know, we built a bunch of frames here at Extensive, but never an all-two chassis before. You know, I got the wheelbase established on what I think is going to be a good proportion for the buggy. The whole inspiration for this is these 58-inch tall tires. I mean, just seeing these tires, I got excited. I want something to put them on. We're finding some military axles, and from the military axles to the big diesel engine, you know, 1,500 horsepower. You know, every part that's added to this, it just adds to the excitement the whole way. You know, it's like an art project you actually get to drive, and you have a whole lot of fun with. We're going to build everything 100% chromoly on this, so it's super light, super strong, so I can put myself, my family in it, and not have to worry about anything. You know, I ain't going to lie, you get a little nervous of, you know, how big of a project something like this is. You know, you want it as big as possible, but it's still got to be somewhat practical to be able to transport and fit in the garage, and you just can't build it just totally massive. I want an off-road buggy, but I want something that has some style and has that sporty look, and I definitely want that sporty performance.
Where better to take my hopes and dreams for a buggy than Race Source? These guys design monster trucks.
What's up?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot, man. How you been?
Man, real good, real good. You hard at it?
I'm hard at it every day.
I know that's right.
I'm a former monster truck driver. I actually campaigned one of the great bigger trucks for 26 years. It's for the racing industry. So now that I retired from driving, I'm full-time here in the shop where I manufacture purpose-built components for the monster truck industry. I build tube chassis, and I get to continue living my dream, doing something I love to do every day.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Not a monster truck, but this is what I need your help with. They're all notched perfectly.
That's what's so nice about designing a chassis in SolidWorks. You just draw it, you put the weld reliefs in, do all that.
Right.
And we send it out, and we have it CNC cut.
No waste.
No waste, very little waste. Everything fits up perfect. The biggest difference between hand building a truck and hand mitering and hand fitting all this is all the fittments. You can create some pretty intricate joints of tubing and different connections that would be just an absolute nightmare to hand notch and hand fit. By doing it in 3D, we're able to let our imagination run wild and build exactly what we want.
I see the advantage of that, and that's why I need your help, man, to make my drawings a reality.
Absolutely. Perfect.
The wheels and tires are 58 inches.
Wow. So that's monster truck size, so that's awesome.
Yeah. You know, about 30 inches off the ground and about 6 foot from, you know, top to bottom. I still want that.
Like it's going 100 mile an hour sitting still kind of look.
You know, that's what I'm looking for.
Sway bars front and rear?
Man, for sure, because I'm going to drive it. I'm going to drive it.
I've seen some of your other projects and how you drive them, so yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Right.
Well, if you've got everything at your shop, what I need to do is send some guys over there with a 3D scanner. When we're done, we should be able to kind of see what we're going to be working with.
Man, I'm excited, man.
I can't wait to get started on this project. Get done with yours, I might need to build me one.
Yeah, there you go.
parts scanned for the buggy. So we got the axles on horses. We got the transmission bolted up to the engine. It's in place, so it's ready for the scanner.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, Bill.
Andrew, nice to meet you.
Man, badass. And I'm really excited to see how you do this. This is exactly what we need right here. Is the positioning good for you? You're all set with what's here?
Everything looks good to me.
Cool, man. I'm going to let you get to it, man. Thank you for coming, man. And I'm excited to check it out once you're done. Holler if you need something.
Will do. So this is our ASUP scanning spray. You know, we're going to spray all the parts down for the scanner to pick up. This is going to brighten it up or dull it out, so our scanner can pick up all the detail in here and make sure we can pick up all the bolt holes, because that is super important. So next we're going to put our positioning targets on. They should just be done at random. There has to be 4 positioning targets within a 15-inch box. These positioning targets are for when we're scanning. If we see that, you know, maybe we missed a section over here, we want to rescan that. And then it's going to know exactly where it's scanning again because of the pattern of these positioning targets. So this is our Peel 2 3D scanner. This is basically going to take thousands of pictures and stitch them together into a 3D mesh file that we will then turn into a CAD file.
Now that we scan the engine, axles, and wheels, Pablo can get to it, designing that chassis.
Okay, so now what we're doing is we're taking the scan data that came in and we're going to turn this into SolidWorks files and solid parts. Now that I have my wheelbase, my setback for my engine from the center line of my front axle, we can really start nailing this thing down. So next step on this would be to put seats in it so that we can see where the driver's going to sit. Got to get the family in there. One of the neat things about this tube chassis build is that you don't have to have a lot of mass and a lot of members to get a lot of strength out of it. I'm able to keep it fairly lightweight, yet extremely rigid and very safe, and, you know, in the case of a rollover. This thing has got a really aggressive looking stance, man. This thing is going to look awesome coming down the road towards you. Well, I've almost got this full chassis design done. I'm pretty confident. Most all our dimensions are all right. Our clearances are right. So I've got a few more little tweaks in here. I'm going to add a couple more bars. But then we'll extract each one of these tubes individually. And we'll put this thing on a pallet and ship it over to Bill and let them guys start putting it together.
If you like off-roading like I do, things can get sideways real quick, literally. The roll cage for the 2001 Hummer has to look cool, of course.
Just joking.
But more than anything, it's got to be bulletproof. You know, this is our long enough to do this here, so I'm checking, double checking, and rechecking to make sure everything's 100% right. There's a windshield wiper motor right in our path for the cage.
So center to the outside, we need 6 inches per side.
And how far out?
3's tight.
It'll give it 4 inches. You know, what we got going on is a little obstacle, a little bump in the road. If we make our cage perfect to this drawing and then go back and bend around that, it's going to shrink our cage in. So we're figuring out how far it's got to bump out. See, we need to go right there.
6.5, 6.5.
Yeah. To figure out how much length we need to add in between the 2 outside bends. So when we do bend it, it's going to shrink back down to the perfect width. So we're about to see how good we are. Okay, we know it's 24 inches. We line this up on the edge, on the outer part of our measurements here. So we know 12 inches from there is what we need.
12 from there is where we need to put center of that bend. Yeah, there's a couple of easier options. We could have done this. Could have made it in 2 pieces. Could have made it in 3. I enjoy this kind of stuff because it's more thinking. And me having a construction background, you always had to take blueprints the same way, but the blueprint's all in your head or you're laying it on a table. It's not computer generated. It's something you just lay out with some lines. A little bit back towards you. All right. Yep. You know, there's
lot of companies that have these big scanners and have this, that everything's already pre-banned on the computers. Well, here we got to do it by hand. Not to say it'd be a better product, but it's a lot more self-satisfying to me knowing that we took a straight piece of pipe and bent it all in one piece.
Man, that's a real good start. I mean, this is the hard part.
All that work just for that one wiper motor.
Yeah. We'll get the body trimmed out here so we can get it even closer, and we'll start building all the way back from there. I love it. When stuff starts coming together. Me and Timmy got the flow going. I like how that kind of leans in right there. Looks good. Once it's flowing, all the creative juices start coming together, and it starts to become reality, which really gets exciting. You know, now we got the outer part of the structure done. The cage is looking really good. You know, the next step is building all the inner structure where it really makes it strong, rigid, and adds a lot of style to it. You know, it's really starting to take shape. You know, the main structure is all set in place. Really strong is adding all the bracing everywhere, the X bracing, and part that really makes the attitude come alive. You know, it's already safe, but we're going to make it really cool and really aggressive and just look mean. You know, in my experience, things are always more satisfying when you work hard for them. You know, after everything my daughter Presley's done to her 2020 Challenger, today's the day she gets to feel that satisfaction, and better yet, share it with her good friend.
Thank you for driving me. Cool, so where's the car? I think my dad said he was gonna bring it out in a second. Look at that! That's so awesome! Oh my god, it looks really good! Oh my god! Oh, look at that! That looks so different. So cool. I love it. Oh my god. I love it too. It looks amazing. It's so cool. Y'all did a good job. Even though that I worked on the car and everything like that, like seeing you know, like burn it out and everything and just drive it looks amazing. It's so cool. It's like crazy.
Tell you what, I've been working your friends that are all dirty. Got her working. Did you have fun doing it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
So, you know, like, I didn't like the little, like, chrome accents in the front, so I think, you know, we had to take those and go get them, like, spray painted, and then we got a new grill. It looks way meaner now. I mean, like, I don't know, it changed, like, the whole view of the car, you know? Looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks way faster, right?
Right. We changed out the wheels and the tires. They're 22x8s, 22x9s, you know, 315s on the back instead of, like, you know, the steelies.
What, you know, she had to have, you know.
I feel like that makes the car, you know?
She kind of guilted me into hooking her car in before.
You wanted to do it. You know, I don't know, it's embarrassing to have your kid ride around on something like, you know, on steelies. Look like a cop.
See what I'm talking about?
We got some caliper covers, and like, you know, it was really simple. I could do it myself. You know, it was something that was nice to be able to do on my own without any help. You know, so it had like 4 or 5 inches of clearance, you know, like between like the fender and the tires. So like we wanted to get rid of those old springs and put in new lowering springs. They're red too. They look way better. And then that's lowered a bunch. I think it has like 2 inches or like 1.5 inches of clearance now, you know, and I got to learn how to use like the impact and the pro drivers. It was really cool.
Wow, so you really got in there and did hands-on work. That sounds fun. You got in there and took the springs off yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the yeah.
Of course, anybody that you tell that story to, that you came to the shop, you took tools out of the toolbox, you got your hands dirty, you used the tools, I mean, he's going to be impressed. I seen Maddie was impressed right off the bat, so.
And, you know, I picked on Maddie the day that I got the car and everything, and she's seen it from whenever I first got it, and just, you know, her being able to see everything we've done to it, you know, just makes it even cooler.
It does, right?
And to share the experience of it. It's really cool.
I'm proud of you. That makes me proud.
Thank you.
I guess I'm doing something right.
Thank you.
You girls are going to stay out of trouble tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Promise?
We will.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
All right. See y'all later.
See y'all.
We finished welding out the roll cage on the 2001 Hummer. Now to get to the customer's other request, the gun mount. Man, this is one of the things that's going to make this cage really unique, is having that swivel gun mount on the top. It's really going to finish it off. It's really going to look mean. Got it feeling good in here, man.
Yeah, it's a little warm.
You know, we're building the cage for the H1 over there.
Yes.
So I need a base burnout for it. And what I want to do, just leave an inch up here.
1 inch.
Yeah, and I want to bend it up at a 90.
All right. You never know, door panel out, or a fender, or a gun mount. Keeps it interesting. All right, now that I gotta cut it out, I'm gonna double check my measurements and get it cleaned up, knock off all the slag, bend it for Bill, and just walk it over there.
Always come through for me, man.
So now I have it all tacked in place. I'll put the gun mount up here on top. Instead of trying to lay all this out, the easiest way to do it was just to lay this up here, get it centered where we want it, and use this as a jig. And now we have all the holes drilled right where they go. We're gonna go back and put these sleeves in the cage. So in doing this, we use the flat part of this plate and the flat part of the DOM. So when I tighten that up, you know it's straight and you know it's solid. All right, now we have the holes drilled out. I'll put the gun mount back up here. Let the bottom hang out a little bit so the nut will tighten up flat. It's not trying to crush the cage. And then that'll make it super strong if it's all welded together and make it really, really strong. We'll weld out the top. Now the cage is solid and the gun mount's finished.
Man, it looks real good, man. I'm really impressed how everything come together. Last thing, just weld everything out. See how she shoots.
If you're ever going to build a monster truck, you got to drive it, because that's the ultimate thrill at the end of the mission, is to get behind the wheel of something you created and take it out there and just thrash on it. So I feel like I've come a long ways from when I first started back in the early 80s. It was sketch some things out on the floor. Pretty much just tape measure, plumb bobs, chalk lines on the ground. I took a lot of what I learned back in the early days of doing all this work manually and embraced using computers to design chassis. It's been a game changer for me. I design a chassis from the very first stick of tube or the very first sketch line on the screen, and when I'm finished, I have a perfect rendering of the finished product. All of those tools that are available to us today, and we can just create a masterpiece out of metal.
The roll cage for the 2001 Hummer is back from powder coat.
And now it's just a process of putting the puzzle together. We're gonna put all the top pieces on, put the door caps on. Then it's time for the finale, putting the big cage in here. It's gonna change the whole look.
I've customized a bunch of Hummers over the years. It's something I really like working on. Just by building a custom roll cage on this one, it's totally changed the whole look. What better place to give it back to the Mod Mafia guys? What's up, fellas?
How you doing, Bill?
Than a shooting range. You guys are the Hummer guys. It's pretty cool to have you bring in a Hummer for us to get down on. It needed to be able to go wherever and keep you guys safe no matter what.
Looks good. Absolutely.
It looks real cool, man. Can we go check it out?
Let's go check it out. All right. Oh, man, look at that. There it is. Man.
Got you a little surprise up there.
Yeah, you took those design cues into full effect, but the cage really stands out. Yeah, it looks sick, man.
Man, I've been around a lot of Hummers. I've never seen a cage like that.
Well, that's what you wanted, right?
Exactly.
Something unique, and not only that, looks cool, keep you safe.
Yeah, most importantly.
And that is not going anywhere.
No, I think we can roll that one over, and it's going to be perfectly fine.
It just came in, there was just no safety features whatsoever.
Right.
The first thing we did is made the pans for the back. We decided to clean it up and protect the side also, because it's just started bending pipe. There's a ton of pipe in it. All those little tweaks and bends not only add the strength to add that style too, and it all ties to the frame itself. So if there ever is a rollover, all that inertia is transferred down into the frame. If there ever was an accident, we know these guys are 100% secure.
You got those two bars that go around the center windshield pillar.
Oh yeah, and that's
super
all in one piece.
Man,
that's a lot of work to come up with those bends in the right spot at the right angle, and just to clear everything thank God it worked out.
You flexed some talent on that.
We love when guys like you bring us projects like this to let us put our spin on it.
Doing your art.
Yeah, that's it.
I had no idea what Bill was going to put together here, and the design really nailed it.
It's exactly what we wanted. Actually exceeded our expectations. We were just blown away with the final product.
Not only, you wanted it safe, you wanted it to look good, you wanted a little special request for the top of it, right?
You see you incorporated that in there really well.
Extracurricular activities.
Absolutely. Military truck, you got to have that military mount. We looked around, found an old military swivel mount for an H1. Whatever you want to put up there is totally interchangeable.
Awesome.
If you guys don't mind, I'd like to have first honors and maybe firing a couple rounds off the top of this.
I'm excited to see it.
Once again, I can't thank my team enough. I love the style of the cage. I mean, it flows, everything looks good, and that little cherry on top was that swivel gun mount. This is exactly what this H1 needed. I scared the pineapple. Mark, Josh, I hope you guys had a lot of fun with this. I know I had a lot of fun today. H1, extensive full roll cage, automatic machine gun. Woo! That's very, very, very exhilarating.
Man, that was awesome!
Dude, that was good stuff, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
Pablo just finished the rendering of the buggy. This is something I'm really getting excited about. I love the proportions. That's a great, great, great start. All the notching and everything goes in this. I'm really interested to see if that really is going to fit the way they say. I mean, the buggy is most definitely a challenge. I've never built anything like this. Never built anything just out of thin air before. And that's just one project. We have the Willys Jeep. It's not just making it wider. It's building the frame, building the suspension, building every single part and piece. Exciting project, but with that exciting project comes a huge workload because there's nowhere in those projects you can take shortcuts. Once these larger projects like this start rolling out the door, I know everybody's going to be impressed.